of the Three Little Pigs, as told to John Scieszka, illustrated by Lane Smith, creatively read and adapted by Miss Jill. Everybody knows the story of the Three Little Pigs, at least they think they do. But I'm going to let you in on a little secret. See, nobody knows the real story because nobody's ever heard my side of the story. I'm the wolf, Alexander T. Wolf, but you can call me Al. I don't know how this whole big bad wolf thing got started, but it's all wrong. Maybe it's because of our diet. Hey, it's not my fault. Wolves eat cute little animals like bunnies and sheep and pigs. That's just the way we are. If cheeseburgers were cute, folks would probably think you were big and bad too. But like I was saying, this whole big bad wolf thing is all wrong. The real story is about a sneeze in a cup of sugar. This is the real story. Way back, once upon a time, I was making a birthday cake for my dear old granny. Oh, I had a terrible sneezing cold, and I just ran out of sugar. So I walked down the street to ask my neighbor for a cup of sugar. Now, this neighbor was a pig. He wasn't too bright either, and he had built his whole house out of straw. Can you believe it? I mean, who in their right mind builds their house out of straw? Well, so of course the minute I knocked on the door, it fell right in. I didn't want to walk into somebody else's house, so I called. I said, Little pig, you in?" No answer. I was just about to go home without my cup of sugar for my dear old granny's birthday cake. And that's when my nose started to itch. Oh, I felt a sneeze coming on. And I sneezed a great sneeze. Achoo! And do you know what? That whole darn straw house fell down. And right in the middle of the pile of straw was the first little pig, dead as a doornail. He had been home the whole time. Well, seems like a shame to leave a perfectly good ham dinner lying there in the straw, so I ate it up. Think of it as a big cheeseburger just lying there. I was feeling a little better, but I still didn't have my cup of sugar. So I went to the next neighbor's house. Now, this neighbor was the first little pig's brother, and he was a little smarter, but not much. He'd built his house out of sticks. I rang the bell on the stick house. Nobody answered. I called. I said, Mr. Pig, you in?" He yelled back, "Go away, wolf! You can't come in. I'm shaving the hairs of my chin. Well, I just grabbed the doorknob when I felt another sneeze coming on. And I huffed and I snuffed and I tried to cover my mouth with this great sneeze. Achoo! And you're not even going to believe it, but this guy's house fell down too, just like his brother's. Oh, when the dust cleared, there was the second little pig, dead as a doornail. Oh, wolf's honor, I promise. Now, you know food's gonna spoil if you just leave it out in the open, so I did the only thing there was to do. I had dinner, again. Think of it as a second helping, and I was getting awfully full, but my cold was feeling a little better, and I still didn't have that cup of sugar for my dear old granny's cake, so I went to the next house. This guy was the first and the second little pig's brother. He must have been the brains in the family. He had built his house out of bricks. I knocked on the brick house. No answer. I called, Mr. Pig, you in?" And do you know what that rude little porker answered? "Get out of here, wolf, and don't bother me again." Talk about impolite. He probably had a whole sack of sugar, and he wouldn't even give me 1 cup for my dear sweet Granny's birthday cake. Oh, what a pig. I was just about to go home and maybe make a nice birthday card instead of a cake when, I felt my cold coming on. I huffed, I snuffed, and I sneezed once again. And the third little pig yelled, "And your old Granny can sit on a pin!" Oh, now I'm usually a pretty calm fellow, but when somebody talks about my granny like that, I go a little crazy. Well, when the cops drove up, of course I was trying to break down the pig's door, and the whole time I was huffing and puffing and sneezing and making a real scene, because of my cold. Well, the rest, as they say, is history. The news reporters found out about the pigs I had for dinner, and they figured some sick guy going around borrowing a cup of sugar didn't sound very exciting, so they jazzed up the story with all that huff and puff and blow your house down stuff, and they made me out to be the big bad wolf. Well, that's it. That's the real story. I was framed. But maybe you could loan me a cup of sugar, huh? The end.